2 balls, no strikes to Merrifield.
Line drive right field, base hit. South Carolina wins the College World Series.
The College World Series final starts with 4 F-16s buzzing the tower. Hello. What happens next is an SEC battle between South Carolina and Florida that goes deep into the Omaha night. Big bombs and boisterous blasts are gone. Legged out triples are the new home run. It's a chess match. The intricate and pure game of baseball is back in Omaha. Small ball, strategy versus strategy. 2 bases loaded jams end with plays to home. Back to back? Come on. We're just gonna let you watch this.
To Wingo again. Home for 1. Back to first. Double play.
Harry Houdini would be proud. That's what I'm talking about. Baseball, pure, simple, clean.
Williams with a throw to the plate, and they got him.
Oh, mama. South Carolina has made believers out of the soil. It's game 2, do or die for Florida. And after last night, I'm not missing a second of this.
South Carolina's great escape has them just innings from a perfect story. They were the last champions at Rosenblatt Stadium and hope to be in the first dog pile at this year's new home. A game of inches? Florida found that cliche cruelly true yesterday. But if the Gators can rise from the mat, they'll carry momentum and the finals to one more magical night in Omaha. Welcome to Omaha, Nebraska. Game 2 of the NCAA College World Series, presented by Capital One. And it's the Florida Gators in a must-win situation against the Gamecocks of South Carolina. Good evening, everybody. Mike Patrick, Robin Ventura, Oral Hershiser. It's great to have you with us. We thought it was going to be a great College World Series finals, and we certainly got off to a magnificent start last night with that 11-inning 2-1 win for South Carolina. And tonight, Oral, the Gamecocks have a chance to literally rewrite the record books.
They sure do. With the consecutive wins that they've had back-to-back years here at the College World Series, not only are they on a roll to win most consecutive tournament games, there 15 could be 16 this year to go ahead of Texas, but most consecutive wins here at the College World Series, going ahead of LSU and USC. And to go to do this, they're going to take Michael Roth to the mound. He is their captain. He's a left-handed starter this year. He's the guy they've followed all year with 13 victories, and he's got a chance to make an individual record with his ERA, all those innings pitched and the way he's done it. This guy is a junior leader, 31st round pick by the Cleveland Indians. He's a gamer and a leader.
Well, that loss last night certainly had to be a heartbreaker for the Gators, and yet they have to regroup in less than 24 hours.
It's a tough loss. Baseball is a cruel game, and their offense was a little flat. Couldn't find that big hit, but they're looking for the big hit from Mike Zunino, SEC Player of the Year. Things are looking up for him. He has struggled a little bit in this College World Series, 3 for 16, but he came through with the clutch hit last night when Cody Dent was thrown out at the plate. They need more of that if they're going to continue on one more game.
Well, it's another great night for baseball in Omaha, an all-SEC final. When we come back, Kyle Peterson and Jen Brown join us from the field as we get ready for Game 2 of the College World Series Finals.
The NCAA College World Series is presented by the Capital One Venture Card with double miles on every purchase, every day, and in part by Prudential. Every challenge is an opportunity. Prudential. Bring your challenges. And Burger King. Chill out this summer with a $1 frozen Coke or $1 frozen cherry drink from Burger King.
Welcome back to the College World Series Finals presented by Capital One. We're in Omaha, Nebraska for Florida and South Carolina, Game 2 of the finals. Kyle Peterson and Jen Brown will cover the dugouts for us tonight. Let's check in with them, starting with Kyle.
All right, Mike, thank you. For this Florida team, obviously an emotional loss last night, but Kevin O'Sullivan's message after the game was pretty simple. I'm mad, you're mad, now it's time to get over it. Time to come out tomorrow and play. Today was a little bit different, but it was all centered on forcing Game 3. So it doesn't matter when we win 2, you got to win 2 to get out of this thing. Look for this Florida team tonight to be aggressive, particularly early. If they get runners on base, they'll try to force the issue a little bit more with this South Carolina defense. For more on South Carolina, set across the diamond to Jen Brown.
Thanks, Kyle. Well, Michael Roth really became a star here in Omaha last year. He went from being a situational utility pitcher to being forced as a starter in the finals against UCLA. Well, since that moment, Michael Roth has never looked back.
When he got a chance to pitch a couple of games at the end of the year as a starter, it seemed like he just thrived in that situation, and he really took off and ran with it, and just had a great year.
No surprise to us. We know what Michael can do, and he's a special person and a special talent as well, and he's been able to get it done for us all year.
Big-time pitcher, big game pitcher, and a loose guy, somebody you can have fun with on and off the field.
No matter what the situation is, he'll put everything he's got on the line for you. I mean, as a starting pitcher, you can't ask for much more.
I think it's his attitude that we're just playing a game. Yeah, some of them are very important, but at the end of the day, it's still a game.
He knows when to get serious and when to joke around, and we feed off of Mike, and he's a leader on our team.
Now, Michael Roth may be a leader on this team, but that doesn't absolve him from a little ribbing, as Coach Tanner put it. He told me that when the team pulled up in their bus and they all saw Michael Roth on the billboards, there was a lot of laughing and a lot of teasing going on. But they said all in all, the guys were really happy for Michael. Mike?
All right, thank you, Jen, and let's take a closer look, Oral, at Michael Roth.
Well, not only last year, but this year he's been outstanding, and the starts have gone up, of course. Only 2 last year before the College World Series, ended up with 2 more during the College World Series, but this year, those 13 wins, he's an all-SEC pitcher. He's also an All-American.
All right, let's take a look at our starting lineups presented by Capital One. For the Gators of Florida, Bryson Smith will lead it off, followed by the shortstop Nolan Fontana, then Mike Zunino, Preston Tucker, Josh Adams, Daniel Piggott. Brian Johnson gets a shot at the DH tonight. Vikash Ramjet gets a start at first, and Cody Dent.
And moving down in the order is Preston Tucker into that 4 spot. Florida expects big things out of their guys in the middle. He has 6 RBIs in this College World Series. He's tied for the most, so look for big things out of him.
South Carolina on defense has come up with one big play after another. In the outfield from left to right to start last night was Jake Williams with the throw to cut down a runner at the plate. Bradley has chased down everything in center field. On the infield up the middle, Wingo. Back-to-back plays with the bases loaded that saved last night's ball game at the corners. Morales and Christian Walker. And behind the plate, Robert Berry, who can play 5 positions on this ball club, but might be challenged tonight by the aggressive nature that the Gators promise for this evening. Pressure's on for the Florida Gators. They have to win tonight to force a Game 3. And Bryson Smith out of Watkinsville, Georgia, will lead it off, hitting .400 in the College World Series, .329 overall. He'll get a shot at the pros, the 34th round draft choice of the Cincinnati Reds this year. And takes a fastball in there from Roth. The numbers on Bryson Smith. The pitcher he's facing with even more impressive numbers. An earned run average 0.98. When your ERA starts at 0, that's a good thing.
He's been outstanding, and it's not the most electrifying stuff. You'll see the batters for Florida creep up in the box because velocity is not his game. His game is intelligence, being a mystery to what he's going to throw.
On the corner for a called strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
He makes a lot of quality pitches within the strike zone. He understands the fact with his stuff he has to get ahead in the count, and he understands how to walk hitters off the plate as he gets ahead.
Bryson Smith, one of the few guys that chokes up when he has a 2-strike count, puts that one out of play, foul.
And deception's really his game, and it's not the velocity like Oral was talking about. So as a hitter, you want to take away all that movement, and you want to move up in the box. And we already see that right here with Smith, that he's moved up into the front of the box.
Roth misses outside. It's 2-2.
You really want to force Michael Roth to try and come inside. He might not have the velocity to get in there, so you want to creep up on the plate, force him to try and do something different.
Smith almost has that right knee over the middle of the plate when he takes his stance.
Right, and I mean, really what he's trying to do is take away the outer half, because Roth does a great job of turning it over and fading it away. He wants to force him to come out over the plate.
Popped up, but that'll reach the seats. And the count rides at 3-2. First batter of the ball game.
When Roth faced Florida during the season, he went 8 1/3, but he gave up 10 hits and the 2 walks and 6 strikeouts. So they know they're going to get their hits. They've got to string them together. He only gave up a couple runs in that game.
Nolan Fontana will be next, and Bryson Smith starts it with a single up the middle. Let's take a look at the scouting report tonight, brought to you by Tostitos.
And for Michael Roth versus righties, the arm angle, a little high 3/4 delivery. But when lefties come in, he's looking for the flinch. He's going to come sidearm at you. He used the fastball and the breaking ball. The fastball is going to tail a little bit more into lefties, and then the breaking ball is going to go over in the right-handed hitter batter's box. So, and you can see he's more effective against lefties. The out pitch with righties is more the changeup away. With the lefties, it's a breaking ball.
Fontana stands in and lays down a beautiful bunt down the first baseline, and they just pull him out. As Barry makes the play down the first baseline, but the sacrifice gets Bryson Smith into second with 1 out.
Well, just a nice bunt right here. He's going to take it with him, deadens the ball perfectly, another couple feet, and he's going to beat that out for a hit.
Well, we've seen plenty of sacrifice bunting with these two teams and the rest of the College World Series. Kevin O'Sullivan trying to get his team to break on top to ease some of the do and die type nerves that are running through the Florida Gators.
And you set it up for the guy who's led you all year long, even though he's only hitting 188 out here. You know how many times Zunino has come through for this ball club. You got to dance with who brung you.
Absolutely. And you know, you got the SEC Player of the Year. You're confident when he comes to the plate. Everybody goes through struggles and eventually come out of it, especially when you're as good a hitter as he is. So you're hoping it happens in this game.
And the last time he faced Roth, he got 3 hits. He was 3 for 4 that day, and these two teams met in the regular season.
Zunino looking for his first RBI in the College World Series, and Florida looking for its first run in the first inning out here in Omaha. Pretty good speed with Bryson Smith at second. 1 ball, 1 strike to the sophomore from Cape Coral, Florida. 1 and 2 had him out in front. First time we saw Roth, he just lived on that outside corner, one after the other after the other. And even though you knew it was going to be out there, nobody found a way to hit it.
Yeah, and last year it was a surprise. I mean, nobody had really seen him. Now people have seen him, and he's still doing it.
I'll tell you, Zunino last night came through as the hero with the base hit. The left, he just hit it too hard, and then he ended up being the GOAT later when he threw the ball into center field. But right here, he gets the big hit that could give Florida the victory, and they'd be up 1-0. Instead, they're down 0-1 because the next inning, he ends up throwing the ball away at second base. He felt terrible, not about that hit and possible RBI, but about the throw he made after that.
Back-to-back errors on the same play, 2 throwing errors allowed that run to score. And that's exactly the way South Carolina beat Virginia in extra innings, Robin. Back-to-back throwing errors. That one is just tipped foul.
I don't think if you're South Carolina, you could count on people throwing it away. I mean, that's not.
The defending national champions come to bat here in the bottom of the first. Let's take a look at their starting lineups, brought to you by Capital One.
Scott Wingo will lead it off, followed by Jackie Bradley Jr., Christian Walker, Brady Thomas, Adrian Morales, Jake Williams, the shortstop Peter Mooney, Robert Berry, and Evan Marzilli.
Well, the table setter for these guys, Scott Wingo, 5 for 15, had the big hit last night to tie up the game in the 8th. Always seems to be at the right spot at the right time.
Let's get an injury update from Jen Brown. Jen?
Well, guys, if we remember, Christian Walker has that hamate fracture in his wrist. So I talked to their athletic trainer right before the game, Brainerd Cooper, about his status. Now, basically, when he woke up this morning, Coach Tanner said that he went to his room and his wrist was swollen like a stack of pancakes. So their treatment approach has been much different. They went from heat yesterday to keep him loose to today it's been ice on and off, 20 minutes on, 30 minutes off, really just trying to deal with the pain management and that swelling. And he didn't take BP, so this is going to be the first time he goes up to bat in this inning, so we'll see how he does.
All right, and they certainly need him, Jen. And here is the starting pitcher for the Gators. They need him.
Karsten Whitson, he is a freshman All-American, turned down $2 million plus from the San Diego Padres in the 2010 draft, decided to come here to Florida where both his parents went.
Pretty good numbers for that young man, and Wingo will lead it off. 333 here in the College World Series and 338 overall. His second best average on the ball club. He was drafted by the Dodgers. Now we'll translate for you for Tony Walsh. When he says ball, that means ball. When he says haul, that's a strike.
Strike? Strike. Okay.
Ball.
You weren't helping me out there.
Slow mode him.
Still dial up.
Yep.
1 and 2 to Wingo. Oh. And that hit him. So Wingo aboard for Jackie Bradley Jr.
Little early nerves, get a breaking ball pulled down and in, just nicks the feet and put you on first base.
Wingo can run 7 out of 8 steals this year. Jackie Bradley Jr. not hitting well out here in Omaha. 211, only 1 driven in. He is a big-time talent, though.
Oh. Showed off his arm in the first inning. He'd like to get a hit right now. That last out of the first inning, he nonchalant it, kind of played us a little bit. It looked like he lost it in the sun, and then he just kind of cruised under it.
It's only the 4th hit batter for Whitson all season long. That's a called strike. Bradley Jr. missed the last 26 games of the season coming into the College World Series. Trying to make a diving catch, injured his wrist, had to have surgery on a tendon. And his timing is a little bit off out here. He is 0 for his last 8 at TD Ameritrade. And he's gone after that pitch just about every time they've thrown it to him, that high fastball, and he hadn't been able to catch up to it.
Yeah, that's the one that's always the best looking pitch if you're a hitter, the one that's up in the zone. And it's tough to see right now. You have the sunlight, the shadows, so it's tough to catch up to that.
Got a piece of that one and fouled it back.
Right back to the well, but he caught up to a little bit. Tell you what, we've talked a lot about the bats, and tonight the wind's a little different. The wind's blowing in instead of out. The runs have been at a premium here at the College World Series with the new bat specs. Same size field as Rosenblatt. Little slightly different direction and not sitting up on a hill.
Sure plays different though, doesn't it? Got him with a high fastball.
Well, you get a hitter in swing mode, and you know the fact that you get it in the area he's already started the bat. So you're just trying to put it in the same place, but make it a little harder to hit. And he threw 3 up there around the shoulders, swung at all 3, missed 2, especially the last one.
Well, here's Christian Walker, the best hitter this club has had from day one.
Played last night, even though they didn't expect him to, with that broken bone in his hand. And he did not, if you just joined us after Jen Brown's report, he did not take batting practice today. They have treated him all day, off and on with ice. And that first swing is going to be interesting.
He probably took some swings down under in the indoor cages.
High fastball, runner goes, and that's foul off the right side.
I'm sure when they encountered the swelling this morning, they wanted him to get as much treatment as possible before they started to do anything that could aggravate the hand again. And so that treatment probably didn't coincide with their BP time on the field, but they could take the treatment right up to game time, 5-10 minutes before the game, go in the cage, test the hand, and put him in the lineup.
Well, the good thing is he's hit before, so this is not the first time that he's hit.
It's like riding a bike.
Yeah, I mean, you want him in the lineup.
1-1 chopped up the middle. Nice pick at second base by Adams. He'll get the double play, 4-3. Josh Adams with a good defensive play at second base, and Christian Walker grounds into a double play to end the inning.
No hesitation at all. You're in a do-or-die game, and you break right away. That charge right there makes the end of this play very, very simple. But it's not going to be simple to beat South Carolina. They've been outstanding all year long.
The NCAA Baseball Championships. Tonight makes all those months of work and practice seem worthwhile. And right now in towns and cities across the United States, there are youngsters of all ages who are working toward the day when they, too, can be a part of the team that is crowned National Collegiate Baseball Champions.
We've played one between Florida and South Carolina, and we are deadlocked in a scoreless ball game. And low-scoring games and pitchers' duels, we have come to accept the fact that that's what we're going to get with the bat restrictions and a new ballpark. You're not going to see those 17-16 games anymore. And to me, that's good for college baseball. I know you hitters enjoyed.
I'm not going to say anything because I don't think so.
During the day. I didn't expect you to agree.
I was going to listen. Oral should have talked because he obviously likes it.
Daniel Piggott will lead it off for the Gators against Michael Roth here in the second. All of a sudden he's speechless.
I'm telling you.
We don't want to promote it too much.
Fastball is in there, 2-1.
Hitters will definitely have to make an adjustment, you know, just like that guy will.
Friendship. That's 3-1.
Oh boy.
Somebody get a picture. He'll have to explain that when he goes home. Strike call, 3-2. Piggott hitting .335 on the year. That's second best on the Gator club. Roth comes inside. The ball's hit to left, and Williams, fighting the sun toward the line, makes the catch for the first out. Well, we told you about the low-scoring games, and the numbers have been dramatic here at the College World Series. The batting average only .238 cumulative. That is the lowest since 1974. The runs are the lowest since 1973. So is the ERA, and the home runs only 7. Also back to the 70s for a comparison.
And almost right along the same lines as when the aluminum bat came in, which is 1974.
The Gators, a power club. For them this season, they were 5th in the country with 68 home runs. And when you consider they played in that so tough conference, the SEC, and they've hit 1 out here. And that just shows you the disparity that this ballpark and the bat restrictions have provided in Omaha.
And you would almost take that as these games aren't exciting, but it's been the opposite. I mean, we've had some great games.
Johnson had a home run, but it was ruled not a home run as the ball just goes over the yellow line, hits and kicks back into the field of play. The Gators out there contending that it was a home run. That's exactly where it hit, on the concrete right in front of that little metal wall. It kicked back on the field. The umpire said they couldn't change the call because of the way it ricocheted. That was not a basis to do it. So that was a double, not a home run. Breaking pitch fouled off.
I think there will be adjustments, next year for things in this ballpark that they might have not foreseen that would happen. And, I think that'll be something that'll come up that, they will make adjustments and try and make it better so that it's easier for the umpires to see that. That's a tough thing to see for an umpire.
Got him on the breaking ball. Just foul tipped. Roth certainly doesn't blow people away, but he's got great command of his stuff. Crossfire is fouled off. The wave in full action. Surfs up in Omaha.
Well, they have three different waves. They have the slow motion, they have the regular, and then the super fast.
How do you get the signal of what one we're going to do?
There's somebody out in center field. I don't know who it is. I'm looking. I'm trying to see who it is right now, but I know there's somebody out in the outfield that does that.
It sets it up.
Johnson goes down on strikes. Second out of the inning and the first strikeout for Roth. Our coverage of the NCAA College World Series presented by Capital One will continue tomorrow night on ESPN at 8 p.m. Eastern with Game 3 of the finals if it's necessary. Florida taking on South Carolina. Coverage of the NCAA College World Series also available online at ESPN3.com. And to keep up with all of the NCAA College World Series information, log on to NCAA.com. It is the official online home for all 88 NCAA championships. This is Vikas Ramjit getting a start at first base tonight. He's only had 73 at-bats this season and a transfer from Miami. Have you identified the ringleader yet?
I'm looking.
Ramjit swings over the top on a 2-0 count. It's 2-1. The .311 hitter this year. Excuse me, .384 in limited appearances. Goes after that one, and it's 2-2.
Michael Roth will work every angle in the book. Arm angles, slowing a hitter down.
Second strikeout ends the inning. We've played 1.5 scoreless here at the College World Series. South Carolina coming to bat.
He's a junior. He's the hero last year. He wants to be a hero again.
TD Ameritrade, beautiful ballpark in downtown Omaha, and our College World Series presented by Capital One. We'll go to the bottom of the second. One hit so far. That was by Florida. South Carolina still looking for its first base knock, and they'll send up the 4, 5, 6 men in the order. Brady Thomas, Adrian Morales, and Jake Williams. Thomas had a good World Series, 333 out here in Omaha. Thomas is one of those rare guys in his 6th year of college baseball. Because of injuries, you're allowed to appeal to the NCAA and get extra eligibility, and he was successful. He's one of those guys who can truly say college was the 6 best years of my life.
Got to have a double major, don't you?
You would think. 1-2 to Thomas out of Anderson, South Carolina, facing Karsten Whitson. He struck him out. 2 for Whitson in 1 1/3.
Whitson has been using the high fastball to get by people. That wasn't quite as elevated as the one to Jackie Bradley Jr., but you can see the glare in center field, and he has found a hole up and in to left-handed hitters.
Adrian Morales, a late round draft choice by the Mariners. They took him in the 49th round this year. Virtually everybody eligible on these ball clubs, and most of the SEC teams that qualified for the College World Series this year were draft picks.
I'll tell you, some of these late draft picks, they're drafted late because the pro scouts might not think they have enough ability maybe to get to the big leagues, but they loved having them in their organization, the character and the winning. And they will definitely be teaching other players about pressure situations, about how to win, how to be part of a winning team. And so you're drafted kind of as an organizational player to play around prospects, but you still got a chance to make it if you continue. So you still got your opportunity to impress.
1-2 to Morales. Nobody on, 1 out in the second. That breaking pitch hangs high. 2-2.
Every prospect needs about 24 players to play around him so he can go take the field. You know, the one that's going to end up making it.
Yeah.
You know, anywhere from 5 to 9 prospects on every team. The other guys, you know, at most levels are organizational players that could be called suspects. But the suspects make it.
Every once in a while, it's usually a great story. You saw the ice on the wrist of Christian Walker as they try to keep that swelling down. And they said it's pain more than swelling. Really bothering him today after he played yesterday. This one hit down to Rangel at first to take it himself. 2 outs. An injury like that really tests your ability to withstand pain, and it varies from player to player. Some can play with a certain level, others can't.
Well, especially yesterday, he's going to go on adrenaline. It's the excitement of playing in that game, and you just want to play. Then you wake up today, and it's a whole new ball game. I think you irritated enough, and
Exactly.
you do enough. I mean, not just the hitting, but he was stealing bases, sliding. He was taking throws at first base. You know, there's a lot of stuff that happens that you wouldn't expect that makes him sore.
And I'm sure the doctors have relayed the message that you can't hurt it any worse. It's just going to be painful.
It's always what you want to hear as a patient, isn't it?
Whatever's hurt's going to stay hurt. If you can deal with the pain, you can play.
1-1 to Jake Williams. Chased a breaking ball 1-2. He's a .272 hitter this year. Out of Greer, South Carolina. Started his baseball career at Wofford. Another breaking pitch lays off this. 2-2.
The play we showed earlier was Zunino's base hit. It was Jake Williams who made the throw and cut down the runner at the plate. A lot of heroes in these tight games.
Jammed him and struck him out. Stay tuned. After the break, we'll have a special announcement from Lowe's regarding the 2011 Senior Class Award winner. The award celebrates the loyalty of seniors that honor their 4-year commitment to their school. The Senior Class Award recognizes these student athletes for great achievement during competition and in the classroom while staying in school.
And now time to look at Lowe's, honoring the winner of the Lowe's Senior Class Award. And it's Tyler Wilson out of the University of Virginia. He graduated in May with a degree in biology, going to attend medical school when his baseball career is over. Member of the Dean's List, a leader on campus. He was 8-0 with a 2.34 ERA heading into the Super Regionals. Second all ACC selection, third in Virginia history in career wins, and a 10th round draft pick of the Baltimore Orioles in the 2011 draft. Our congratulations to the Lowe's Senior Class Award winner, Tyler Wilson of the University of Virginia. Scoreless as we start the third. Cody Dent will lead it off for the Florida Gators. He's been one of the hitting stars out here. 364 after a regular season around 200. Won the job at third because of his defense. And he's come up with 4 base knocks here in Omaha.
He's ground out some at-bats as far as just leading off a lot of innings. Really been a solid leadoff hitter for them, even though he hits in the 9-hole.
You can tell why Roth is so tough on left-handers. Grounded to second. Wingo throws him out. One gone.
The FIFA Women's World Cup will continue on ESPN tomorrow morning. Group C takes the field starting at 8:45 in the morning. Colombia and Sweden. Then at 11:45 in the morning, it's the United States taking on North Korea. It was interesting reading about, you know, North Korea is such a secretive society, but so is their soccer team. They change uniform numbers and they have no names on the back, so nobody knows who these players are. It's unbelievable.
It's hard to get a scouting report. Sorry.
Bryson Smith back to the top of the order. He started the game with a single. That's the only base hit we've had so far.
Who scored? Number 3, but they won't wear that number.
That's right. Tomorrow they'll be number 22.
Fastball for a called strike. 2-1.
Roth has fallen behind several hitters, something he didn't do in his first appearance. But he's been able to come back and get nearly every one of them. Fouled into the crowd down the right side. 2 balls and 2 strikes. To Bryson Smith here in the third. Nobody on, 1 out. That's Nolan Fontana, who's on deck, and another strikeout for Michael Roth, his third.
Michael Roth last year was a huge hero. There were 6 pitchers used against Oklahoma on 6/24/10, and a pitch like this is one that carried him that day. He only pitched an inning, a third. Well, the next day he went 9 innings on their route out of the losers bracket. Now a starter this year has carried him this far. Captain of this team, huge presence in their locker room. And Price out of their bullpen has really taken over that role.
Price has been lights out, and they say his future is going to be as a starting pitcher.
I guess that's how you do it. You let them come here, spot start them, or extend them out, throw them 90 pitches, see if they can handle it.
And all of a sudden you become a starter. There's 95 as their closer, 95 pitches.
Back to the mound, and the inning is over. Out. Roth has retired 8 in a row. We'll go to the bottom of the third. 0-0. It's always great coming out here and look at that beautiful mural. It's just a wonderful feeling to Omaha, Nebraska, when we come out here, and now in the new digs at TD Ameritrade Park. Crowds have been terrific, and now we've got a delay because of a beach ball out on the warning track in right center.
You know, Mike, we see the old footage of Rosenblatt, and some of the people have talked about maybe trying to warm up the new stadium. It's a palace. It's absolutely beautiful, but maybe some color, maybe some banners in the light towers that might help to commemorate past College World Series.
Well, hopefully that's the kind of thing they're going to do as we try to build our own history here at TD Ameritrade. And there are a lot of things, your suggestions, I think, very valid. There was a great color scheme with the seats at Rosenblatt. Maybe they can do something with that, although money comes into it every time, doesn't it?
It is, but it's one of those, we can get that down. We can take that down.
I can't believe they spent that much money on that.
The concourse is great here, all the amenities. This ball driven down the left field line. Peter Mooney on his way to second. And he's got a leadoff double for the Gamecocks of South Carolina.
Whitson's been getting the fastball by the left-handed hitters. When the fastball has been in, this one tailing away. Mooney just slaps it where he sees it pitch. Up and in's where the lefties have been swinging and missed, but that one was a mistake. Actually a ball up and away, and he did a nice job keeping his hands above that ball and just letting Whitson supply the power.
Now a chance for Berry to sacrifice to get a runner over to third. He has 6 successful sacrifice bunts this year. And Marzilli, the number 9 man in the order, would be next. Instead, swinging away and fouls it off.
A game in hand. Let him swing. South Carolina changing strategy here.
Yeah, we saw Florida button them over early in the game just to get a runner in scoring position.
Sitting 250 here in Omaha after a 288 regular season. There's Marzilli. He's in the 9 hole. He does have 31 RBIs this year. So he's produced low in the order. There's Ray Tanner coming off that national championship a year ago, and now Berry squares to bunt. They had a shot at third. Instead, to throw to first. Well, Whitson thought about it.
Well, again, you want to make sure you're going to get an out here. You get that ball, you start to turn, and you're not sure. As you can see right here, he gets it. He's thinking about it, but he sets his feet again, kind of like a quarterback. You go ahead and shuffle those feet, get going in the direction that you're going to throw. Make sure you get an out.
Later in the game, do you make that throw?
Yeah, I mean, you know, again, like the Virginia play, you had to get that out. You had to try and make that play. But now you're going to play your infield in, cut off the run at home plate.
And this is how precious runs have become. It's the 3rd inning, and you bring your infield in.
Yeah, this is one of those that you really want to make the team earn it. You're not going to play your infield back where you can just hit an easy ground ball. You're going to have to execute it perfectly.
Marzilli, a 289 hitter with the infield drawn in. It's about 100 points better than that.
And if you're thinking 9-hitter and maybe possible squeeze, a little harder for the offense with a left-handed hitter because it's all in front of the catcher and the pitcher. If somebody yells squeeze when they see the runner breaking at third, you just throw a high and away fastball. That wild type of pitch takes the catcher right into the runner for an out. Better with a right-handed hitter.
This one's fouled away. He doesn't want to lose this guy because Wingo would be next. And Wingo has hero written all over him in this College World Series.
Yeah, if you're Florida, I would play the infield in just because you don't want to get that feeling that you're already playing from behind. Make them earn it. Make them try and do it, you know, execute it right. But put the pressure back on South Carolina.
277 with runners in scoring position in the College World Series. Missed outside. 3-1.
Karsten is overthrowing a little bit right here. He's trying to bring the ball, the fastball up and into these lefties, and he's thrown just a little too hard too soon before his landing foot hits, and that's making the ball tail all the way across the plate into the right-hand batter's box.
Marzilli really good when he puts it in play. He has struck out more than they wanted this year. Gets a base on balls here, though. First issued by Whitson in the same inning that he gave up his first base hit. And now we're going to have Kevin O'Sullivan coming out and chatting with his right-hander. .37 pitches so far.
They're probably talking a little bit about him locating his fastball a little better when he's had confidence to throw the ball in the zone and stay with his mechanics. Just to drive all the way through, not to spin up and out. You see his head kind of pick up, front shoulder flies out a little early before the foot starts to hit. That shoulder is really flying out, which makes the arm extend early and then makes the ball go high and away. Just a little bit more trust in what you were doing earlier. Pitch to contact, your stuff is good enough.
Well, right now there's a whole lot of things that Ray Tanner can do, and you have the right guy at the plate. Clutch hitter, can put the bat on the ball. Quick, not going to be a very easy double play candidate.
Wingo hitting .333 for Ray Tanner here in Omaha this year. First threat of the ball game.
You can fake to third, you can fake to second, you can't fake to first without stepping off. That's not a balk.
And we used to say that's a play that never works because it never worked out here, but it has worked a couple of times in the big leagues this year. Wingo has come through time and time again for this ball club. Less than 2 outs. Runners at third with .579. One and one.
That's a great pitch, and it's a great pitch call. They've been wanting to throw the fastball for a strike. He's been missing. He's behind in the count 1-0, and they decide to call a changeup, which gets his release point out in front and gets him away from thinking about velocity and just thinking about placement. And he got him back together.
Runners at the corners, 1 out. South Carolina, third inning.
Ball.
This inning started with Mooney and a double, the first base hit of the ball game for South Carolina. Then Perry sacrificed and Marzilli walked on a Wingo and a prayer. I like that. Fouled out of play. Wingo, who beat Texas A&M with a walk-off, has this base hit up the middle. Last night to drive in a run. His defense was more important than that. Great diving stop. Throw to the plate. Berry does the same thing. Next batter rounds out into a 4-2-3 double play to end the inning and end an enormous threat for the Gators. Wingo fouls this one out of play.
Isn't it amazing how many years you come out here and it always seems there's one guy that kind of does that, but the game always comes around back to them. I mean, he gets in these situations. He has the first game they come back, he has the walk-off, and he's kind of in the middle of everything. And
there's a lot of fate in baseball,
absolutely.
Isn't there? 2 balls and 2 strikes. Can the senior from Greensville, South Carolina, come through again? way. Maybe it's too early for him. He usually reserves the heroics until 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th.
Yeah, there are heroics to it, but he's always in the middle of everything that they do. I mean, obviously we had Christian Walker last night with, had a big game, but just the odd plays, the ones that are more of the classic, shows up at the big moment.
Jackie Bradley Jr., who you saw on deck, was the star of every one of these situations last year. He was the most outstanding player in the 2010 College World Series. Breaking pitch in the air to right. It's going to be caught by Tucker. His throw to the plate not in time, and Wingo comes through. A sacrifice fly and an RBI, first run of the game. Tucker really didn't have a chance to throw him out. That ball was hit well and certainly deep enough to get the run home. And now Jackie Bradley Jr., who was a strikeout victim his first time up. Season's average has fallen to 252. Breaking ball on the corner at the knees. When you're not hitting well, every pitch is on the corner, isn't it?
They all seem to be strikes. And it's a frustrating thing, but you have to battle through it.
Fastball too high.
When you're going well, it seems like they throw everything right in the middle of the plate, and then you'll watch it on a replay and it'll be on the corner, but in your mind when you're at the plate, it looks like it's right down the middle.
Runner goes, ball fouled away. We hear the phrase all the time, being able to see the ball well. Now, that's got to be part of that.
Yeah, and when you're swinging well, it's almost like the game slows down. Pitches slow down. You slow the pitcher down. When you're not swinging it very good, you're not seeing it very well. It seems like everything's 100 miles an hour or 5 miles an hour, and you can't control those differences.
And how long we've been playing this great game and nobody's figured out why. At least not yet.
Ball.
Held up on a high fastball. The pitch that has been getting him out.
I'd be surprised if Marzilli runs right here after the fastball, thinking you might get a curveball in the dirt, try to get to second base with 2 outs. They've already surprise attacked once. South Carolina up by a run and a game in hand can be aggressive.
He's stolen 6 this year.
Ball.
Now he'll get a couple of extra steps on the full count with 2 outs.
They'll move behind him at first base. Protect that hole now with a left-handed hitter and a 3-2 count. Whitson's responsibility on the mound to keep the runner as close as possible until he delivers the ball home.
Ball 4.
Missed outside, and Jackie Bradley Jr. draws a walk. Second issued in the inning by Whitson. And that'll get Christian Walker to the plate. He bounced into a double play his first time up as he chopped the ball back up the middle. See him flexing that hand and wrist, trying to find some comfort there.
This is one guy who doesn't want to play tomorrow for sure.
Jammed him, and he looks at that wrist immediately after he takes that hack. Didn't seem to be in any discomfort at all last night when he played, but they told Jen Brown it was really swollen this morning. Watch this swing.
Well, one of the things that's different is he has that bat taped, and you can see right down on the knob, you know, they've really tried to cushion that bottom part of the handle for his wrist. And last night he had a swing where he let go of the bat, and it just creates a different grip, and sometimes you just don't feel as confident with that grip when you're swinging.
Chopped to short and off the shortstop's glove into center field. That's going to get a run home. Nolan Fontana can't come up with a tough bounce. The ball goes into center field, and it's 2-0. Christian Walker manages to get a run home, bad wrist and all.
On this one right here, you come in, Nolan Fontana trying to get that short hop. But if anything, you want to make sure you keep that ball in front. You almost need to come in and corral that with your chest. You have a runner already going to third base. You can see right here, Marzilli gets the go-ahead from Chad Holbrook to keep going. But as a defender, you have to make sure that that ball stays in the infield. Even though you might not be able to get the runner at first base, you cannot let it get by you.
It's an error on the shortstop, Nolan Fontana. Brady Thomas tied up inside for a strike. And it's 2-0 South Carolina with a chance to break it open here if Thomas can come through with a hit. And now they want to talk to Thomas. Ray Tanner out offering his advice. And with the pitching we've seen out here, you hang 4 or 5 runs on a team early, it's going to be awfully difficult to come back.
Well, especially when a team's getting some free runs. And that's one of the things that happens out here. If you cannot tighten it up on defense and make sure you're not giving free runs away, you can make it tough on people. But once you start giving them those free runs, it's hard to come back.
And that is the 7th error the Gators have committed in 5 College World Series games. And they have been so good all year long. They only had 1 in the Super Regionals and Regionals combined. And you just can't come out here and kick it around. Especially in a game that you have to win to force game 3. Thomas, a strikeout victim, his first time up. 1-1, runners at the corners. 2 balls and a strike. South Carolina with a chance to win back-to-back College World Series championships. And now the Gators are going to get some action going in their bullpen. They just can't afford to let this get out of hand.
As Zunino was instructed to go out to the mound to stall a little bit, give them a chance to get down to the pen. And there will be no tomorrow for Florida, so their bullpen will be up at any sign of any more difficulties.
56 pitches so far for Karsten Whitson, and this will be the 30th of this inning.
Kevin O'Sullivan has been very good about his pitch count all year. This is a young man who turned down over $2 million from the San Diego Padres to come and be a Gator. And he's kept his pitch count between 80 and 90 pitches all year, no matter what. So usually only goes about 4, 5, maybe 6 innings. And he does not abuse this young man at all. He is protecting his future.
Wouldn't you like to see more guys do that?
It would be fantastic.
3-1. Thomas chased ball forward. It's 3-2.
You know, Mike and Robin, I really think it's going to help Kevin O'Sullivan with recruiting, with kids that are on that bubble, that are pitchers, that think about, should I go to Florida? Where can I think about going to have my investment protected? The way he's treating Whitson is the way he will probably treat future pitchers. And if you're a parent or a player, it's a reputation he's building.
3-2, and Thomas wants his third base coach, Chad Holbrook, to go through the signals again for him. 2 on, 2 out, 3-2 to the hitter. Chopped up the middle over the mound. Going to be a tough play.
Safe for the run score. Adams did everything he could coming in from second base. It was just hit in exactly the right place.
Well, you don't always have to hit one off the wall. Right here, he's just protecting that strike zone. Chops it over the mound. Adams comes through, and he just can't get him. You can see right here, he gets enough on it. And Thomas just beats it out.
It's the right call.
Two of the 3 runs unearned.
Walker at second, Thomas at first, and now Morales with a chance to deliver what could be a crushing blow with 3 already home. If you're a Florida fan, you can just look at all those batting averages that they have carried all year long, all the power that they have, and you say to yourself, we can come back. But the question is, how deep a hole do you dig before you start coming back?
Well, you're also going against Michael Roth, and you know that's not one of those things where you just think you can put a 5 spot on somebody.
And it's not only Roth. You look at the bullpen. The bullpen for South Carolina, 17 2/3 innings here at the College World Series, no runs. And since the Super Regionals in 6 games, South Carolina's pitching staff has allowed 2 runs just once. That was in a 5-4 win over Texas A&M to start the College World Series. This is back to Whitson. He'll toss it to first, but the damage is done.
South Carolina strikes first. Peter Mooney, an air and a chopper. Things are looking South Carolina's way.
A place here called Hot Shops in Omaha, and they do things up in casting metal.
Yeah, they got all kinds of stuff. It's beautiful. They made us a nice paperweight. It looks like a hat. Gorgeous. Jersey. We got an ESPN jersey up here made out of metal. Robin left for a little bit.
Now Florida has to start the comeback. The Gators are down 1 game in the College World Series. They're down 3-1 as they go to the 4th inning. They'll start it off with Zunino, Tucker, and Adams, the 3-4-5 men in the order. Roth now staked to a 3-0 lead. Zunino walked his first time up. Roth just baffles right-handed hitters.
Well, this is really when he's at his best. He gets a lead and just starts working on you. Right now, he's going to use your aggressiveness against you.
Oh, there you go.
Because you're wanting to get those runs back as quick as you can. And he's just going to continue to tease you with those pitches on the outer half of the plate.
And most of those pitches are not strikes. They're 6 to 8 inches off the dish, and yet they're swinging at almost all of them. That South Carolina staff has been just staggeringly good. Roth, 1 earned run in his last 47 1/3. The staff, 3 earned runs in 45 innings. That is a 0.60 earned run average. High fastball hit to deep left. Williams back at the wall, and it's gone. That is only the 8th home run in the College World Series this year.
And this is just the ball that gets up in the zone. You see, it's not even a strike, but it's up in that hitting zone for Mike Zunino. And the velocity he's able to get there.
Takes care of that slump. And it makes it 3-1. This ball is foul. Off the bat of Tucker.
His last 3 at-bats, base hit that could have won the game. SEC Player of the Year is heating up.
He just wants some more opportunities.
He was 3 for 4 off of Roth when they played in the regular season. He's continued that here. He's now 4 for 5 and a walk.
Crossfire, grounded to short, and Mooney got him.
Guy's still on the bag.
1 out.
Got an out.
Well, that's got to give the Gators a big psychological boost to get on the board and do it with the long ball, which has been a staple for them all year long.
Well, good teams always find a way to answer. You know, if you go down and the other team scores, the next time you come up, if you can answer, it doesn't have to be all of them at once. You still have enough game to play with, but at least you answer and you show the other team as well as your own team that we're going to be able to score some runs.
We had gone 33 consecutive innings at the College World Series without a home run. Adams to Mooney at short. Nice stab. He's out by 4 steps as Mooney throws off the wrong foot when he didn't have to.
Well, he's made 2 really good plays in this inning. The first one with Tucker. This ball is going up the middle. Doesn't have to actually set himself. He has enough time there to flip it over. Give Walker enough time to go get it if he has to and step back on the bag. But that's just a perfect strike.
2 outs for Daniel Piggott. And Roth gets a curveball in there. Piggott with a tremendous season, 333 this year, 5 home runs, 40 driven in. He's a junior from Ormond Beach, Florida. Perfect setting, isn't it? .76 miles an hour and virtually unhittable.
It's really below hitting speed. It looks so good, but then it's too slow.
Breaking ball hit to second. Wingo.
Stay on. Out.
A solo home run puts the Gators on the board. Zunino is ready for some more baseball. Give me some more ABs. Now let's take a look at the Capital One Cup standings update as teams compete for a $200,000 scholarship donation from Capital One. Capital One Cup is awarded to the top men's and women's Division I college athletic programs with the most points earned based on final standings of the NCAA Division I championships and the final official coaches polls. And our congratulations to this year's winners. Woodson on the hill for the 4th inning. He'll face Williams, Mooney, and Berry for South Carolina. Part of the order that got it started in the 3rd. Looks like we have a packed house again here tonight in Omaha. A late arriving crowd, but they have filled it up. Capacity 24,500. That's seating. They have had closer to 26,000, and Williams will reach as he's hit. That's the 2nd hit batter in the game for Whitson. The Gators can come back. We will continue our coverage of the NCAA College World Series presented by Capital One tomorrow night on ESPN at 8 Eastern. Game 3 of the finals. Florida has to win tonight to stay alive. And to keep up with all of the NCAA College World Series information, log on to NCAA.com. It is the official online home for all 88 NCAA championships. This is Peter Mooney, who started it in the third with a double down the left field line. And he wants to sacrifice. He's the leader on this club in that category with 13 this year. Transfer from Palm Beach Community College. Calls Loxahatchee, Florida his home. Pitch out, nothing going on. The throw down got away. They didn't have him anyway. Ramjet couldn't hold the throw from Zunino.
Well, you can see Kevin O'Sullivan trying to think along with maybe a hit and run coming up. Calls a pitch out. Now if you're South Carolina, it actually puts it on where it's a good chance to come right back knowing they're not going to pitch out again.
2-0. Good bunt.
Out.
Williams gets into second base with one out on the sacrifice.
This ball's dead and perfectly out in front of the plate. A little bit high. Probably would have been a ball, but it gets it down.
Just caught the ball with his bat.
All you're doing is catching it. Get the right bat angle. Get it going down the first base side.
Very late on a high fastball. He sacrificed back in the third.
A little easier to sacrifice bunt now with these new bat specifications.
Doesn't carry as far.
Smaller sweet spot, deadens the ball easier.
This one's foul. I happen to be listening into your pregame discussion about which one of you guys happen to be the better bunter. Who won?
We're going to definitely have to have a contest sometime.
We're coming back at midnight.
Yep. We're going to bunt off the tee.
We're going to bunt.
Our reactions have slowed.
Mike, you're throwing, we're bunting.
All right. Be prepared to get hit. That's foul. As well as you hit, he must have had more opportunities to sacrifice than you did.
I batted second. I could bunt. That was part of, you know, what we did. And he bunted like once every 5 days, if maybe.
And about you too.
Maybe. Mine was a little, maybe once every 3 or 4 days.
I got a little hot shops here. One of the things they do.
That's
sculpture.
Nice.
Yeah. They also made like an ESPN shirt.
Is that a cup?
No, that's a hat. Paperweight. They made us a jersey.
That wasn't your glove,
that's
was
a
it?
Paperweight. No, that.
Okay.
You know whose glove that is. Steve Sachs' glove.
Oh, no.
Be
You
a
did
little
not.
tough to wear in the summer.
Yeah. Some people think this looks better than my shirt.
Well, I was going to say, with your shirt, you might want to go around the stadium and put a little color out there.
Okay.
Use that.
Certainly
use
better
that
than
around
your
here.
tie.
Barry 0-2 with a runner at second, one out.
Somebody in the truck's been commenting on your tie. I don't know.
They like my ties.
It's a good Irish tie. And you could hear it hit the bat. Fortunately, Barry didn't get drilled and gets up with a big smile. That'll get your heart rate up.
So when you're going to get on the plate, better be ready.
No balls, 2 strikes to Robert Berry. 1 on, 1 out here in the South Carolina fourth. Gamecocks lead it 3-1. Breaking ball fouled away. .75 pitches already for Karsten Whitson. faced them earlier in the year, went 5 innings, only allowed a run, but he was allowed 3 in this ball game so far. Berry spoils another one. Toledo and Johnson warming for the Gators.
There's a shot at 76 pitches. Karsten Whitson will be out of the game after this batter.
Hanging breaking ball was fouled off.
Johnson down there warming up. He's in the DH hole right now. He'll be hitting for himself.
Does this have more to do with the pitch count than the situation right now?
He's done a very nice job protecting the young man's arm throughout the year. Usually only goes about 80 to 85 pitches. You got a lefty on deck. I would think that he's thinking get him out there on a positive note if he gets this guy out.
Breaking ball to straightaway right field. Tucker will make the catch. That's 2 outs.
He's really got 3 lefties in a row, but it looks like he's going to stay with him for right now. We're talking about it.
Marzilli walked and scored his last time up in the 3rd. Hitting .289 on the season.
With Marzilli and Wingo and Bradley, none of them gotten a hit off of Whitson. So he's looking at a pattern of success with these 3 lefties. And just as you say it, there's a trip to the mound.
That was pitch number 79 for Karsten Whitson. And Kevin O'Sullivan also serves as his own pitching coach. So he makes all the decisions in that department and all the trips to the mound. The 3rd inning was the bugaboo for Whitson when he had to throw 36 pitches and allowed the 3 runs.
You know, that meeting could be about, you know, I've got a lefty behind you. You don't have to give in to this guy. You can empty the tank. Probably going to be your last inning anyway. Just really bear down right here.
Look at how they improved under Kevin O'Sullivan. ERA over 4 for 3 straight years. He got it under 3 this year. And that's facing SEC opponents. A lot of national leaders have a lot weaker schedules than the Gators faced this year.
Well, you can tell a lot by that first pitch what Orel was talking about. You don't have to just throw fastballs, pump them in there, and you can go ahead and try and ace some pitches. Throw your best curveball, throw your best slider, change up, make him hit something that you want.
Toward the second baseman, and Adams throws him out.
Got an out.
The inning is over. When we come back, Kevin O'Sullivan with Kyle Peterson as the Gators trail 3-1.
Top of the 5th back in Omaha. South Carolina leads Florida 3-1 with head coach Kevin O'Sullivan. How about Karsten Whitson so far, the freshman? I know he's battled, but what have you seen from your side?
Well, he's working some deep counts, and I think South Carolina hitters are doing a real nice job off him. But I thought, you know, he's given us a chance. I mean, You know, if he works ahead to count a little bit more, you know, it might be a different outcome. But I thought South Carolina had a nice approach against them.
All right, I know you've seen Roth before, but offensively now down 2 runs, what do you need to do against him to get something going?
Well, he's got to keep battling. You know, he's obviously one of the best pitchers in our league, and we're going to have to battle, get a run here, get a run there. And when we get opportunities, we got to cash in.
All right, Kevin, thanks.
All right, thanks, Kyle.
Kevin O'Sullivan in his 4th year at the University of Florida. He is at the College World Series for the 2nd straight year as an assistant at Clemson. He made 4 trips, or check that, made 3 trips, but 2 now with the Gators. And this year, he is in the championship finals.
I think that's something that you're seeing around college baseball as guys move around. They go through certain programs that are successful, and schools look for those guys, and Kevin O'Sullivan is obviously one of those guys. Was at Clemson with Jack Leggett. Tim Corbin was also there with them. Now at Vanderbilt, they were here this year.
Yeah, Clemson developing that coaching tree. There's the Clemson coaching staff. Wow, what a lot of talent there. Corbin has gone on to Vanderbilt, and O'Sullivan, of course, here at Florida. 2 extremely close friends who had to play each other here. That was difficult for them. But if you're going to build a great program, and one of your best friends is going to build a great program, that's going to happen, especially if you're in the same conference.
They would text each other throughout the year. They didn't have as much communication when they were going into their head-to-head matchups. But
Johnson takes it outside. Sophomore from Cocoa Beach, a .311 hitter. Coming into this game, struck out his first time up. Got to be frustrating as a hitter when Roth is not throwing the ball that hard, just tossing it up there right on the edge of the plate, and you can't seem to get a hit on it.
Yeah, I mean, you'd rather have a guy throwing 93 and straight than somebody that looks like they're throwing a frisbee. And I mean, that's really what it is, and he just frustrates you. You can't ever get a good look at it because it's always running away from him, running in, nothing straight.
Bottom third of the order is what he is facing here, and that one stayed inside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Florida 3-1. Their only loss here in the College World Series was last night to South Carolina. Ramjet on deck.
Hey, ESPN, where was that?
And Dent would be next. Gators' only run came on a Zunino solo home run in the last inning. The delay is because of more beach balls on the track, and the outfielders were taking care of those. Here's the 3-2. Hit him. Would have been ball 4 anyway.
You know, Michael Roth is the type of pitcher that you describe as a hitter as he can't get me out in the strike zone, but if you chase, he can definitely get you out. He likes to make the ball look like a strike, end up a ball, put it in a tough place to hit. So you can go stuff against stuff in the strike zone, or you can try and hit me when I'm outside the strike zone. If you do that, he'll make it a long day.
Well, we heard before the game Florida wanted to be more aggressive, and that certainly plays into what Roth wants to do. As this ball served into right center field by Ramjet, and the Gators have something going here in the top of the 5th. Ball gets away, but the runners cannot advance.
Well, when Florida had Grayson Garvin against them, another lefty. Ramjet made his way into the starting lineup again today in a platoon situation, a right-handed hitter against a lefty, and he makes it pay off for Kevin O'Sullivan of putting him in the lineup.
And now Dent, who's a pretty good bunter, will come up with 2 on and nobody out. The numbers on Dent. Grounded out his first time up, now hitting .213. The perfect guy to sacrifice to get back to the top of the order. Third baseman was charging all the way in. The shortstop trying to cover third.
Well, that play right there, you're normally as a hitter, you're going to pull the bat back. If everybody's charging, that middle opens up, you're supposed to pull the bat back and try and hit. But again, you got Roth on the mound, which he's not very easy to hit. He's not very easy to pick up.
Right.
So you're moving twice. You have your bat out and you got to pull it back. But against Virginia, this same situation came up, and their second baseman Werman pulled the ball to the first base side, and Wingo's still at second base. So if you can get it in the right spot, it can also be a hit.
2 on, nobody out in the Gator 5th inning. They're down by 2 against Michael Roth, the South Carolina ace. Oh, 1 to Cody Dent. There's Bucky. So that Yankee ring on his left hand. A New York hero. Bunted foul, 0-2.
Well, they've gone with the wheel play with the crashing third baseman. They've gone with the pickoff at second to help shorten the lead at the runner at second. And then they played it straight on defense right there. Carolina taking the aggressive posture on defense.
Well, it also affects the hitter. When people are moving around, it changes every time because your eyes are going around the infield to see who's moving.
Still thinking bunt. Yes, they are. He took it outside, pulled the bat back. Now, as a pitcher, Orel, when you see 1 and 2, he's still trying to bunt. What are you trying to throw?
Well, for Michael Roth, it's a little different because it's left-on-left situation, so he can go to some different weapons here. I wouldn't be surprised if he throws another breaking ball right here.
Fouled, and it's a strikeout.
And that's the hard part of that situation because he's got a breaking ball moving away from him. He wants to bunt the ball to third, so you overcompensate not only for the angle you want to do to bunt the ball to third, plus the breaking ball taking the ball away from you, you have a tendency to drop the barrel just a little bit in placement, and you can see he did that, and it deflects off the bat.
Dent fails to execute. Runners stay at first and second with 1 out. We're back to the top of the order to Bryson Smith, who is 1 for 2, a single and a strikeout. Let's see how big a play that turns out to be. If you get runners over to second, third, you put the ball in play, you've at least cut it to 3-2.
Right. And right now you're still in that situation where you can chip away and still get into this game and tie it up. But you have to execute.
Towards second, could be 2, and is 4, 6, 3, 9 double plays for the South Carolina defense in the College World Series.
The double play ball has been the friend for South Carolina. A perfect turn from Wingo to Mooney. South Carolina keeps putting the pressure on.
4.5 innings played, 3-1 South Carolina. Let's go down to the field. Jen Brown and Ray Tanner.
Thanks, Mike. Coach Michael Roth, short rest today. What has made him so good so far in this game?
Well, he's hard to square up right now. His fastball is not all that good. He failed to locate it a couple times, but his changeup is hard to pick up. We're having a hard time getting the Whitson as well.
Now, Scott Wingo has been your rock, but he came in as a .226 career hitter before this year. What has made him so good?
Well, I think it's just a maturity. He's stronger than he ever has been, and he's using the whole field.
All right, thanks, Coach. Mike?
Jen, thank you very much. It's the South Carolina 5th inning. They're up 3-1. And defense and opportunism has carried South Carolina throughout this College World Series. They have not missed their opportunities, and the teams they have played have missed the opportunities. Hard hit, but well fouled down the right field side for Wingo, who has an RBI tonight on a sacrifice fly and is hitting .333 here in Omaha. Young man who has been given the opportunity to be the star and has taken advantage of it.
Yeah, and you have to have opportunities. There have to be some weird plays that come up. You have to have the balls that are just out of your reach. You know, the plays last night. I mean, everything's fallen into the right place for Scott Wingo.
Lays off a high fastball, a ball and 2 strikes from Karsten Whitson.
And Robert Berry, the catcher, his catcher, has contributed to his stardom with the great pick as far as the play at the home plate when Wingo made the throw. Today's hinge catcher's glove, a little softer glove, almost like a padded first baseman's glove. Didn't see many catchers backhanding balls in the dirt, you know, 15, 20 years ago.
Well, they used to have to catch everything with 2 hands.
Oh, we go all back to Campanella days with the no hinge glove and just a little center pocket before there was even webbing in a catcher's glove.
Down to first. Ramjet will take it himself, and Wingo made it close, hustling down the line.
And Karsten Whitson some days turns pro. He'll need to be over there. That won't be 3 unassisted. They're a little slower afoot in the big leagues than Ramjet.
Jackie Bradley Jr. trying to bunt his way on. He walked the last time up, struck out back in the first. And is now down to 200 here in Omaha.
Ball it's in.
A ball and a strike to Jackie Bradley Jr. Christian Walker will hit next. Well, he swung through a lot of fastballs out here.
Yes, he has a lot of movement, and that's something that, you know, you really need to kind of curtail is when guys have balls that move.
Called strike 3, too quickly gone here in the 5th. Two of the top teams in baseball will face off on Wednesday night on Wednesday Night Baseball. At 7 Eastern, the Red Sox take on the Phillies. Then on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball at 8, both teams that call the city of Los Angeles home take the field when the Dodgers take on the Angels. 2 outs, nobody on for Walker. And if history is any guide, he will be facing surgery on that broken bone in his hand as soon as the season is over. I was going to say minor surgery, but it's always minor when it's not on you.
Exactly.
The other guy, it's always a minor surgery. Walker is 0 for 2, reached on an error. Fouls this one back. South Carolina nursing a 3-1 lead here in the 5th. If they win, it's back-to-back national championships for the Gamecocks. Florida needs to win tonight to keep it alive and force the deciding Game 3 tomorrow night. Walker hammers one into left for a base hit.
You got to compliment Christian Walker. He kicks on a little hanging breaking ball in the inner half. The toughness to still be in there with the pain of a broken bone in his wrist. And he's still doing this, hitting like a champ.
You see all the padding they have on there. They also have the bat padded. And they've been icing in between innings. Now Brady Thomas chases a fastball and fouls it back. Somebody made a nice catch. Thomas, 350 out here in Omaha. And a very good hitter for this club, well over 300 all year long. And a good job. That one's in there for a called strike. 0-2 from Whitson.
Kevin O'Sullivan stretching the pitch count of Karsten Whitson tonight. See the career high in pitches, 96. Last outing of the year, probably.
That one is served into left on an outside fastball, a 2-out single, and runners at first and second. Second hit tonight for Thomas.
One of the things South Carolina is very good at is taking the ball the other way. Whitson's been throwing his fastballs on the outer half, and you can see Thomas not trying to pull it, just soft serving it, keeping the angle.
And that looks like it might be the last pitch for Whitson, as Kevin O'Sullivan coming out with 97 already thrown, 2 outs here in the 5th. Probably like to get him through this inning. As you said, Oral, just from a psychological standpoint, you'd like him to have a good feeling going into the offseason. But you also need to get out of this inning without any more damage.
Well, one thing that they do have in that bullpen are a lot of quality arms. And I don't think it's something that he's afraid to go to the bullpen. It might be a lesson that he's trying to mature a kid that's a freshman and let him fight through a tough inning.
Well, you know, as a sophomore next year, he's going to be bigger, he's stronger, he's gotten the innings under his belt, and he's probably going to grow his pitch count next year, where 95, 97 is the low end of his pitch count, and maybe he'll go to 105, 110. And so this is a point in the year where he can push him. He's not going to get the ball tomorrow on no day's rest. This is his last outing of the year.
2 on, 2 out for the young man here in the 5th, Adrian Morales. 0 for 2 tonight. Hoping to do some damage here in the South Carolina 5th. Bases loaded. He's hit 3 tonight. Now he's in a real jam for Williams, who he hit the last time up.
Well, he's just convinced Kevin O'Sullivan that he's fine. He sees first pitch breaking ball. He wants to show him that he can get the job done because the coach showed confidence in him, and he just overthrows it a little bit. Comes out the top half of his hand, kind of spins. Same type of pitch he gave up the base hit on, but that one he overhung, and it spun right back and hit him.
Tommy Toledo, a right-hander, will come out of the bullpen. And he's got a fire to put out, but his base is loaded and 2 out against South Carolina. We'll check out his numbers when we come back.
Now, I always said the stars just got to line up sometimes.
We're a tough team, and, you know, we just fight until the end.
It's not always pretty, but we end up putting ourselves in a good position.
We got to be able to survive at the end. From the 6th inning on, we got to stay in the game and try to figure it out.
We fight. We would be Gamecocks if we weren't. And you know, we just find ways to win.
I guess that's how we do it. We like to be dramatic, I guess.
Might not always be pretty, but we're always going to battle you to the end, and we don't quit. We're gonna fight you till the very last out, and our very last run crosses the plate.
It is hard enough to win the College World Series championship once. To do it back-to-back is rarefied air. The last team to do it, Oregon State in 06 and 07. Then you have to start going way back to find other teams who have done it. Tommy Toledo will come out of the bullpen. He's an 11th round pick of the Brewers this year. And Oral, he sports a 6-3 record.
This young man has responded to adversity, and this bases loaded situation is nothing for him. He's been struck in the face by a ball, and he has come back and continued his college career. He's even had a few surgeries to kind of put him back together, and when he came back, he could have wore a mask, could have had an L screen, but he decided not to.
A lot of guys just not capable of doing that after a traumatic injury. Let's check in with Jen Brown. Jen?
Well, that line drive that he took to the face was actually against Charleston Southern, and he missed 2 months to have reconstructive facial surgery. He had multiple facial fractures. Like you said, he wouldn't wear that protection on his face, but he's been doing well for the Gators, and that's why they've been sticking him in.
And you can understand if you get drilled in the face with a line drive, it can change your total perspective. You've seen guys throughout the history of baseball that just can't pitch anymore. They shy away from it.
Struck him out. Comes out of the bullpen with the bases loaded. And Toledo preserves the 2-run lead.
Been another good one here at the College World Series in Omaha. 3-1 South Carolina lead. The number 4 national seed against the number 2 national seed Gators. And Nolan Fontana will lead it off here in the top of the 6th. Trying to find some kind of solution to the offerings of Michael Roth. The only Gator run is scored on a solo homer from Zunino. They need more than that.
Get him on, get him in. That's what their plan is right now. And the guy in the on-deck circle, Mike Zunino, has passed the test with a long ball. Could be a short and powerful rally for Florida if Nolan can get on. He's 4 for 5 off of Roth this year, including that home run he had in the 4th.
Fontana is 0 for 1 and he hit him.
Get him on the hand. Get him on the hand. He's going first.
That looked like it hit him on the hand. And Roth really upset with himself for letting the leadoff hitter get aboard.
This is the way the last inning started. Started with a hit by pitch, then they got a base hit. And then they didn't take care of the bunt, and they hit into a double play. Florida trying to build the inning the same way, but they don't want it to finish the same way.
Tending to that left hand and wrist. Well, this makes it a little interesting with Zunino coming up already with a home run, and he represents the tying run with nobody out.
I wonder if they're going to talk about their wrist injuries.
Yeah, Walker's going to say, I know exactly how that feels.
There's a hand specialist on our side, guys. He flew in for me.
Hey, if you tape that up, it'll feel better.
Zunino was mired in a horrible slump. 2 for 15. He'd been punched out 5 times. Last 4 times up, he has walked twice, homered, and has another base hit.
Well, don't think Roth doesn't know that either, because pitchers and hitters know kind of how you do against each other. He knows he's 4 for 5 against him. He just hit a home run. So this is the time where he might try and do something a little extra special.
4 earned runs allowed by South Carolina in 47 innings pitched in the College World Series. It's outrageous. And Roth already behind 2-0. The left-hander Tucker would be next, but they're obviously being very careful with Mike Zunino. Pitching coach Jerry Myers wants to talk about it. South Carolina with a chance to set all sorts of records for NCAA winning streaks, College World Series winning streaks. They have a chance for the best ERA as a staff going back some 40 years. There's Kumas, who was terrific, and there you see, going back to the Super Regionals, 4 earned runs in 54 innings. That's outside. Now 3-0, you get the green light to a guy who's already homered.
He may have the green light, but he might have to think about passing the baton here and not going outside the strike zone and doing something that hurts them as far as a double play ball.
Respect a 3-0 breaking ball.
It's been all soft, all high and away. Barely caught the edge on that one, and it's going to be soft again.
South Carolina looking for yet another double play. Every other team in the field with 14 combined. This is not going to be one of them. A base hit to left on a 3-1 pitch for Zunino.
And again, we had talked about him heating up, and it's just one of those things as a hitter, you just become more patient, try and make hard contact, and good things happen. And he was patient in this at bat. You can see he goes out of the zone, but still finds a way to get it through that infield.
And as a pitcher, I think Michael Roth thought he did his job. He threw a ball. He made the hitter go outside the strike zone. He got a ground ball, which was really a mistake for the Gators, but just happened to hit a hole and get a base hit.
Now Tucker, left-hander against left-hander. The other young man on this team with tremendous power. 15 home runs this year. He leads the club with 74 RBIs. And I think they were looking to see if he might square around to bunt, but Tucker has one sacrifice this year. Lefty against lefty. Do you ask your 4-hole hitter to sacrifice?
Well, sometimes you'll have him square around early so he'd get a fastball, but you're not going to get a straight fastball from Roth anyway, so it doesn't do you any good to try and trick him.
Webb and Taylor in the bullpen. John Taylor has appeared in all 9 postseason games for South Carolina and is only 2 games short of the most appearances in the history of college baseball. This would be 50 for him in his career. Curveball for a strike, 1-1. Roth trying to get out of a jam that started when he hit a batter to lead off the inning. A ball and 2 strikes to Tucker, who was 0 for 2. A fly to center and a ground out. Right-handed batter Josh Adams would be next with runners in scoring position. 0 for 4 tonight in the championship finals, the College World Series finals. 1 for 13. Breaking ball hung inside.
Well, the last 2 breaking balls have not been sharp. Michael Roth has not reached the outside part of the plate or even the other batter's box like he was trying to. The one that Preston swung at was on the inner half. He got away with a mistake, and right there, that one backed up on him and almost hit Preston.
Struck him out on another breaking pitch. Five strikeouts for Roth, and none bigger than this one.
Florida's helping him out, and he knows that they want to hit. They could stand up there right now and just leave the bat on their shoulder, and he has not thrown 3 strikes to any hitter. There could be bases loaded, no out. Zunino didn't need to swing the bat to get on, and neither did Tucker.
Now Adams, who is 0 for 2. 2 runners still aboard, now 1 out. And another double play would get him out of the inning. Adams lays off a curveball.
Well, this is where that frustration starts building. You start getting into the 6th inning. You've had guys on before. You know you're not moving them around the bases. You're not scoring any runs. You're getting guys on, and it starts to build from this point forward.
Well, they had their opportunities last night, didn't they? And there's a terrible swing by Adams.
Now, if we did a K zone of every pitch this inning, there'd be very few that made it yellow, which means it turns to a strike.
Well, I think we might have had a missed sign. You can see there was a lot of different looks going on from home plate. Adams looking out to second base. Zunino was off on the pitch.
Chop toward third. The only play will be at first, and Morales throws him out. The runners advance to second and third. And 2 outs in the inning. Tying runs in scoring position for Daniel Piggott. He's 0 for 2. Hitting .235 in the College World Series. And you just wonder as a team, when you run out of opportunities, how many are you going to get?
Well, that's what makes it so frustrating, is every time you feel like, oh, this is the inning. This is the inning we're going to punch one through, maybe get a couple across. And a guy like Roth keeps stifling you, and it just, the pressure builds when you go to the plate.
Piggott hitting .332. It's a big cut, fouls that one off.
Well, Florida's been their own worst enemy when they're facing Michael Roth, because he would set the table if they would have enough discipline to let him. But they continue to want to hit to build the rallies instead of let him just walk them or back him into hitters' counts. But he's smart enough to stay with his plan because it's working.
Ball. 2 balls and a strike.
Well, just like last night, you had Hudson Randall. It was doing the same thing to South Carolina. They had opportunity, wouldn't punch a guy across. Finally, Scott Wingo hits a base hit up the middle. I mean, as bad as this has gone, 1 base hit right here, we're even.
Single away from being tied, that's for sure. And that ball hooked down the left field line, hit it well, but it's foul. And it's 2-2.
Either a little breaking ball or a changeup that he pulls. It's a changeup that he pulls in there. He wanted that ball to fade away from the right-handed hitter, but his hand came around it. He pulled it inside, but the velocity got him out in front and made him pull it foul. You saw Barry sit up away. He was hoping to fade it to the other batter's box, but he pulled it.
You get it far enough inside, he can't keep it fair, can he? 2-2 to Piggott. Fastball. There's Wingo. 2 men left. The tying run stranded at second and third. Will go to the bottom of the 6th. South Carolina by 2. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th with South Carolina on top of Florida 3-1. Looking good, isn't it, Jen Brown, for the Carolina Gamecocks?
That's right. Well, here's a little inspirational story for this team. Back in 2003 at the College World Series, when they went to the Omaha Children's Hospital, they met a patient named Charlie Peters. Now, Charlie was battling from a rare form of cancer, and the team kind of spent some time with him, and then Coach Tanner invited him to come to the dugout and be the honorary bat boy. Now, to show his appreciation, he made a poster for the team that said, "Don't give up." Now, they hung that in the dugout for him. And last year, they came to the College World Series again and invited Charlie into the dugout, and he gave them another poster that said, "Never give up." And we remember what happened last year. Now, this year, Coach Tanner's got a little emotional telling me the story of when Charlie came to visit him in his hotel room, and he gave him a picture, and he said, "Coach, you guys never gave up." And Coach looked at Charlie, and he said, "Charlie, no, you never gave up. We're just playing baseball." He got a little teary with me when he told me that story, but he's here in the dugout and showing some support for this team.
I don't blame him for choking up a little bit, Jen. That's a great story. You say, young man, all the best. He's rooting for the leaders right now. South Carolina with a 3-1 lead. It'll be Mooney, Berry, and Marzilli. Mooney with a sacrifice and a double. slapped one down the left field line back in the third and scored. You watch South Carolina play 2 or 3 ball games. You just have to be terribly impressed by these kids.
That ball is blasted to deep right field, and it's gone. Mooney got out in front of it and hits his 4th home run of the year. And for South Carolina, their first home run in 5 games at the College World Series.
Well, he swung through a changeup earlier in this count, and he gets a fastball right down the middle, and he doesn't miss it. You see right head down on contact, sweet part of the bat.
It is tough to get a ball out of here, but he drilled that one. This one high in the air to shallow right field off the bat of Berry. And the second baseman, Josh Adams, takes care of it. But South Carolina has extended its lead to 4-1. Charlie, the first one. He deserves all the smiles he can get. And now with Marzilli, the left-hander, coming up, we're going to have a pitching change for the Florida Gators. Brian Johnson will pitch, and Charlie's happy his guys are up by 3 here in the 6th. Welcome back to the NCAA College World Series presented by Capital One. 4-1 here in the top of the 7th inning in Omaha. Check it, bottom of the 6th, and it's 4-1 South Carolina. And the new pitcher on the mound, Brian Johnson, making his first appearance on the hill since he was knocked out by his own catcher in a bizarre play back at the end of May. This is Marzilli, who's walked and scored and grounded out.
Well, back in the SEC tournament against Georgia, little loose ball thrown down to second by Mike, and he turned and ducked to give him some room, but Mike just pulled it a little bit, and he was out for about 10 to 15 seconds.
Suffered a concussion, had to be medically cleared, and this ball is going to be for extra bases for Evan Marzilli. So Johnson is greeted rudely in his first appearance on the mound here in the College World Series.
And again, another staple of this team is taking the ball the other way, not trying to pull that pitch. You can see Dent's off the line, and Marzilli just paints the line.
Perfectly placed. 1 out, 1 on, back to the top of the order for Wingo. Wingo's 0 for 1 tonight with a sacrifice and also hit by a pitch. .336 on the year for Scott Wingo. One of the heroes for the South Carolina baseball team here at the College World Series. That one missed. A ball and no strikes to Wingo. 1 out, 1 on. South Carolina trying to add to its lead here in the 6th. Johnson misses again outside.
Florida knows every run is special right now, and they're playing the outfield shallow with Wingo up there with not a lot of power, but also they want to cut the run down at the plate.
Wingo to shallow center. Here comes Smith. He'll make the catch. No chance for Marzilli to advance in the second out of the inning. Jackie Bradley Jr. stands in with 2 outs. He's walked and fanned twice. Hitting .250 on the year. So has a slight build at 5'10", 175, but with that swing, he generates an awful lot of power.
Yeah, he does have a lot of movement, puts a lot into that swing.
Quickly behind 0-2, and he's gone, and so are the Gamecocks. But they add a run on Peter Mooney's 4th home run of the season. A line drive shot into the bullpen that makes it 4-1.
It's pretty simple, really. You take the raw ingredients, shape them, mold them, create what's meant to be. Culmination of thought, planning, ability, strength, and heart. Put it all together, and you have a champion.
South Carolina wants a matching set, and they get it tonight. If they can win this ball game against Florida, 3 innings to go. The Gamecocks with a 3-run lead over the Gators. Go to the 7th. We'll have the bottom third of the order for Florida, facing Michael Roth, who continues to spin his mysteries up there. Haven't figured him out very often. Zunino did for 1 solo home run. Had him in a couple of jams, but haven't been able to come up with a big base hit. Kyle Peterson has more. Kyle?
I guess I think one thing to watch is just the offensive approach for Florida the rest of the game. They've been aggressive, but for the most part, they've been aggressive out of the zone. Let's see if Kevin O'Sullivan forces these guys to take a strike, because when Roth has come into the zone, they put some decent swings on it, but by and large, their aggressiveness has come with pitches out of the zone, and that's really what makes him so good. I mean, Roth is not a guy that fills up the zone. He almost kind of lulls you into swinging at pitches that are out of the zone, and that's what he's been at his best the entire season.
Kyle, I think you're absolutely right, and he is just walked the leadoff man here in the 7th because Brian Johnson showed a lot of patience.
Well, the strategy for me is a little late, because now you back into the bullpen. You had a chance to have that strategy early in the game and maybe set the table and finish him off early, but now you run into a bullpen that hasn't given up anything.
No, the bullpen has gone 17 2/3 world here in the College World Series. No runs. They have won every game. Somebody coming out of the bullpen is responsible for every victory. You got John Taylor out there, who just shows up every ball game, and then Matt Price, the closer, who has 19 saves this year and 4 wins in the College World Series. Nobody's ever had more than that in their career. So if they're going to be patient, he's going to throw it right in there.
Yeah, and the way Roth pitches, he's comfortable with a guy on first base. He gets a lot of ground balls. His defense is good. They turn a lot of double plays.
Oh, that's out.
Ramjet singled his last time up. Takes that one outside. It's 1-1. "105 pitches for the left-hander, the ace of the staff. That's on the corner, called strike. You can almost hear Roth saying it to himself. Okay, stand there and take him. Here you go. I'll strike you out looking. Got him to chase out of the zone. That's fouled away.
Well, that's the trick for him, is to throw the strike and then now throw a couple balls. Throw a strike, at least change the hitter's mind. I mean, if you're going to go up there and you know he's not going to throw a strike, you can stand there. I mean, you can act aggressive and take it, but now with 2 strikes, you have to guess along with him when he's going to throw a strike.
Strike 3, that is out.
Struck him out on a ball that was down at his shoe tops.
Well, we start up with a strike, and then we start working you soft away, and we'll catch another one, but we're going to stay soft away, and you're going to swing at it, and then we're going to stay real soft away. Since you got the swing mode, no sense me coming back in the strike zone yet.
That last one was real soft and real away.
Think of Jamie Moyer coming back from surgery, working as one of our colleagues right now.
Now Cody Dent pops it up in the shallow left. And just in foul territory, Williams makes the catch for the second out of the inning. So Dent goes after the first pitch and flies out. 2 gone in the inning. Back to the top of the order for Bryson Smith here in the 7th. Smith singled to start the ball game, then struck out and grounded into a double play in his other 2 trips. On the corner for a called strike.
That's a big corner lot you got there, Mike.
Well, Tony Walsh agreed with me. And he's the only one who really gets a vote right now.
Exactly.
How long did we see Greg Maddux with that strike zone, Laurel?
Greg adjusted the strike zone. There were times when it was wide for a lot of people, and Greg took advantage of it. And then as the strike zone got smaller and you had to actually throw the ball completely on the plate, he was steeled enough to still win all of his games on the plate. So I would never gripe about his strike zone.
Speared at third. Morales, nice play. That gets him out of the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th. It's 4-1 South Carolina. South Carolina will bat in the bottom of the 7th, already leading 4-1. Welcome back to the NCAA College World Series. Best of 3 College World Series finals. South Carolina can rewrite history tonight. A win in this game would give them 16 in a row. Nobody's ever done that in the NCAA, and nobody's ever done 11 in a row at the College World Series. They were undefeated last year. They are trying to remain undefeated this year and win another title to take back to Columbia. They won the last one at Rosenblatt. They want to be the first to win here at TD Ameritrade. Scorched back up the middle for a base hit for Christian Walker.
Guess who? Christian Walker. I just said that. Yeah, I know. It's just amazing that, this guy's got a broken wrist, and he just continues to, hit line drive after line drive.
Think how well he'd be hitting if he wasn't hurt.
He might just keep it.
Thomas trying to sacrifice. He's had 2 hits tonight. Hoping to get Walker over to second, drive him in for a little insurance. Called strike.
No.
Will we see the South Carolina bullpen in the last 2 innings? Thomas fouls this one off. And that's the 3rd strike. He's gone. The FIFA Women's World Cup will continue on ESPN Wednesday with Group D action. 8:45 in the morning, Norway against Equatorial Guinea. Then at noon Eastern, 5-time FIFA World Player of the Year Marta leads Brazil against Australia. Both games also on your ESPN3.com or your phone.
We won today 2-0, right? Yeah, I was watching it at lunch.
World Cup always draws a lot of interest. Morales hit by a pitch his last time up.
One goal was on a header and one goal was on a shot rebound out front. Low and away score. I didn't hear that part. There was no sound.
That's a fair ball. It will be a stand-up double for Adrian Morales. South Carolina looking for the opportunity to put this one away.
And this is one that's just up in the zone. Morales goes out and hooks it. Out looking for something out over the plate and barely keeps it fair.
Second and third, one out. Jake Williams is 0 for 1. And it looks like Kevin O'Sullivan checking out the bullpen to see if he's got somebody ready, and he's going to make a change. New pitcher for Florida when we come back to the College World Series.
The NCAA College World Series is presented by the Capital One Venture Card with double miles on every purchase every day.
Welcome back to the College World Series Finals presented by Capital One. The Gators go to their bullpen again, trying to snuff out a South Carolina rally here in the bottom of the 7th. And Anthony DeSclafani will come on to pitch with a 5-3 record. Another draft pick, 6th round by the Blue Jays.
A big arm, and he's got a chance to strike somebody out, almost to strike out an inning, and that's what they need right here with the infield in.
Jake Williams has already fanned twice and been hit by a pitch tonight. Second and third, one out. High fastball fouled back.
Ball.
1-1 to Jake Williams. It's a 4-1 South Carolina lead. They won in dramatic fashion last night. Trying for a more comfortable victory this evening if they can get it. Strike 2.
It's a big hill to climb for Florida right now, but the base hit here could make it almost insurmountable with the bullpen that is behind Michael Roth. The only thing that South Carolina will have to look out for if they get a base hit here is celebrating too early and taking it for granted.
Struck him out on a high fastball. So DeSclafani comes out of the pen and does his job. Now he's 1 out away from getting out of the inning with no more runs.
Power fastball, a couple little nickel sliders that worked out, and then right back to the heat to finish him off.
Now Peter Mooney, who homered his last time up. Fastball right down the middle of the plate. And he put it in the bullpen. And we may be going with the lefty, Steven Rodriguez, who has been terrific out of the Florida bullpen here in the College World Series and has one of the most unique deliveries you will see in college baseball or anywhere else. And there's Rodriguez. We'll look at his numbers when we come back to the College World Series. 4-1 South Carolina. Back in the bottom of the 7th with South Carolina holding a 4-1 lead on Florida. They have 2 on, 2 out. And Peter Mooney, the shortstop, is going to have to face Steven Rodriguez. He's 6'2", 225, a sophomore.
Been very successful here at the College World Series. Was very successful against South Carolina in the regular season. In his 2 innings pitched against South Carolina in the regular season, he had 4 strikeouts. Here at the College World Series, 10 Ks in 5 1/3 innings.
Bottom of the 7th, 2 out, 2 on. Mooney facing Rodriguez. Florida trying to hold him close and score in the 8th and 9th. Love watching Rodriguez with that delivery. Never seen anything quite like it.
Yeah, an accentuated stretch move when he comes set here. It almost looks like he has a leg kick when he comes set. It's not a balk. He's just bringing his foot back to join it and come set, but just bringing it back a little higher than most.
Well, the hitter, you got to be ready when he brings that leg up the first time.
I would think you should be.
That fool with your timing at all?
Well, I mean, it's just not as comfortable.
This one's chopped over the mound. Another tough play at second base. Bare hand, grab, and he threw him out. What a play by Josh Adams. Do or die, and he did. What a great play that saves a run. Welcome back to the College World Series Finals. Here's our game summary. If you joined us late, Michael Roth, 7 innings. He's allowed only 1 earned run, a solo homer. South Carolina with 2 unearned runs in the 3rd. Florida has not been able to come through with runners in scoring position. The Gators are 0 for 7, and Roth on the hill for the 8th. And look at that career ERA, 0.96. He's pitched 37 2/3, and this is the lowest ever in the College World Series, and he is still dealing the left-handers. This would appear to be their best shot with 2, 3, 4 in the order. Batting here in the 8th, Fontana, Zunino, and Tucker. There's the man with the solo home run. And 2 of the Gators' 4 hits. Fontana falls behind 1 and 2. Well, it's like Roth is playing catch.
He has such an innate sense of when to throw a strike, when he can get away with a ball, be able to locate the ball on the edges of the plate. We can talk about the tools all we want, but without the 6 inches between his 2 ears, he's a different pitcher completely. And South Carolina is not a champ last year, and they don't have this opportunity to be a champ this year without it.
You're absolutely right. This ball hit hard, but right at Wingo, and he'll throw him out for the first out of the inning.
He personifies South Carolina from the mound. As scrappy as they are at the plate, as much as they focus on defense, as much as they have their back against the wall in almost every game they play, his tenacity and Ray Tanner's leadership is really where this team originates.
And he's just dominated left-handers tonight. They are 0 for 9 throughout this lineup.
Well, when you see a guy swing and you see from a pitcher's perspective, you can tell when a guy's trying to pull the ball or go the other way. And I think he senses that, and that's basically how he approaches every hitter. He just watches a guy swing and goes, if you're going to try and pull me, I'm going to throw this. If you're going to try and go the other way, now I'm going to run it inside. And he does have that ability.
Who gave you more trouble as a hitter? Soft tossers or guys who can get it up there 95, 98?
I think the back and forth thing is the struggle with a hitter because it just messes with your timing. You know, a guy that throws hard, if he throws hard all the time, it's hard to hit no matter what. But a guy that can throw one pitch 93 and another pitch 82, but they look the same,
right?
You literally have no chance.
Well, Roth already at 121 pitches tonight. Remember, Matt Price is out in that bullpen, who has been a shutdown reliever for this ball club. John Taylor has been really good too. A lot of good arms on both of these staffs. And that goes foul.
I'll tell you, all three of the pitchers you just mentioned with Michael Roth on the mound deserve to be on the hill if they win this championship. As much as all three have been used, Price, Roth, Taylor. And it'll be a battle to get this guy off the mound. Because he stood there last year, 1 1/3, and then went 9 the next night. Taylor, he's been in every game that they've needed him in. And Price has gone from closer to throwing 95 pitches in an extra inning game to carry him to this point also.
And comes back the next night, throws 95 miles an hour.
On a night he was supposed to have off.
That's right. Another pitch out of the zone. This thing is hammered to deep right center field, and it's off the wall. And it is a stand-up double for Zunino. And Oral, you've talked about how well he has hit Roth.
Well, Zunino has been the guy in the Florida lineup that not only is their best hitter, but he's had the best approach today. He's walked, so now he's told Roth, you've got to throw the ball in the zone for me the rest of the night. He's homered, he's singled, and now he's doubled.
He needs some help. Tucker would love to join the parade here. He is 0 for 3. Jerry Myers wants to come out and talk. Roth has thrown 123 pitches. You get that terrific bullpen. And that turned out to be a courtesy call.
If you read his lips when he walked to the mound, it was, you want him? What do you think Michael Roth's going to say? No? He said, yep. He said, okay. Just checking on you, big boy.
Now, you really have to hope that when you ask that question, the kid's going to tell you the truth. If you got something left in the tank.
You got it right, Mike. It was courtesy. Visit.
Time, right here.
I mean, the way Michael Roth pitched, there's no way he's coming out. He's had worse circumstances throughout his career, the last 2 years.
And look at that, 1 for 16 with runners in scoring position. The 2 nights that they have played South Carolina here in the College World Series. 1 for 16 just doesn't get it done. But they're still alive here in the 8th. Couple of base hits. It's a new ball game. Roth misses with a crossfire.
If Florida loses this game and they go back and they watch the tape, which they will, it's going to make them sick when they see the pitches that they swung at. When they see how far out of the strike zone. It's one thing to have them just barely off the strike zone. When they see the ones that they've been swinging at, they were 6 to 8 to 10 inches off the plate, it's not going to feel good.
It's a fastball in there on 2-0. Zunino at second base, excuse me, and Tucker at the plate.
Excuse me, but a walk and a bomb, and we got a tie game.
That's what the Gators are looking for. And all year long, they used the long ball, even in the time of the restricted bat. They were able to hit a lot of balls that left the yard. Breaking pitch towards second. Wingo throws him out. 2 gone. That'll leave it up to Adams to keep the inning going. But Adams is going to face someone out of the bullpen. Because Jerry Myers is not going to ask the question again, do you want him? He's going to tell him, great job, go have a seat. And Roth getting the plaudits from his teammates. And here's John Taylor. He will be making his 10th postseason appearance. "50 times this year he has come out of the bullpen. That's second all time. And Roth will get a huge ovation from the Gamecock faithful. Seven 2/3, 1 run. He's responsible for the man at third. Only 2 walks, fan 6.
Well, Michael Roth was on his game again. Could go down in history as one of the best, if not the best, ERA in College World Series history. From reliever last year to spot starter to hero to a repeat performance this year with breaking stuff and changeups and location. Some of the best we've ever seen here without velocity.
Talking to his head coach, Ray Tanner, leaving it up to the bullpen, and there is Taylor. Look at his ERA, 1.14. He'll get a chance in the pros. 22nd round pick of the Mariners.
This is the young man that didn't start as a submariner, but wanted to contribute at Carolina. Was told he probably should make a change, and he made a change. He moved to Australia, to the land down under.
He has been outstanding. And how great is it to have a workhorse that can make 50 appearances in a college season? He'll face John Adams, who is 0 for 3. One more base runner would bring the potential tying run to the plate. And Taylor trying to prevent that.
You know, Robin, you talked about how to hit John Taylor last night as we watched Florida kind of chop it into the ground. What do you think the approach needs to be here?
Well, a guy that's a submariner, you need to make him get the ball up, but you can't try and pound it into the ground. You almost have to. It's not hitting a fly ball, but you have to get the sensation you're trying to lift the ball. You want him to bring that ball up because his ball will sink on you, run and sink, and just make him elevate it. Get it up there where you can see it.
Adams hitting .320 on the year. He is 0 for 3 tonight. Strike call. That's a base hit into right, and it's 4-2. Adams delivers, and the potential tying run will come to the plate for the Florida Gators.
Well, this is a big hit, regardless of it not tying the score, but he just lifts it enough to get it out of the infield. Instead of chopping down on it, last night they were chopping down on it. Tonight he just lifts it, gets it out into the outfield. And the biggest thing is you now have a chance to tie it up. But next inning, all you need is one guy on to have the feeling that you can tie it up. They have the power in their lineup to hit a home run.
And Tyler Thompson
is going to come on to pinch hit for Daniel Piggott against the right-handed reliever.
And every guy they get on, even if they don't score, Mike Zunino is the 6th hitter next inning right now. He keeps turning it over.
And now Jerry Myers with the option to go to his left-hander in the bullpen, who is Tyler Webb. And then Matt Price, who is warming. Two of the top teams in baseball will face off Wednesday night at 7 Eastern. The Red Sox take on the Phillies on Wednesday Night Baseball. Then on ESPN's Sunday Night Baseball at 8 Eastern, both teams that call the City of Angels home take the field when the Dodgers take on the Angels. All part of the AL-NL Showdown presented by State Farm. Hope you'll be with us. And here comes the closer, Matt Price, trying to shut it down here at the College World Series in the 8th. This is Matt Price, the big right-handed reliever, coming on trying to preserve a 4-2 South Carolina lead here in the top of the 8th. With a runner aboard and a run home, Price, spectacular against Virginia the other night, went 5 2/3. He's the closer through 95 pitches, then came back Monday to pitch an inning and was throwing 94-95. This guy's the real deal.
He picked up his 19th save on Monday. That ties him for the national lead. That was yesterday. This save, if he gets it, not only have the national lead in saves, he'll have back-to-back national titles for Carolina.
He will face Tyler Thompson, who comes off the bench to pinch hit in a clutch situation here. Thompson, a .266 hitter on the season. Doesn't have much power, 1 home run. He is 2 for 10 here in the College World Series. Brian Johnson would be next. Foul back on the first pitch. This bullpen, 17 2/3 innings, nothing. Nobody scored on them. They have given up 11 walks, but that's just made it interesting. Breaking pitch from Price hangs high. It's 1-1.
Well, anybody can pitch if you just don't let anybody get on. You got to load the bases, have a little excitement.
Sure. Got to make it an adventure. Fastball hit down the line and left and just goes foul. Well, that was interesting. Thompson had a good cut at that one. Six, 8 feet. Probably not going to see that pitch again.
I wouldn't be looking for it if I was him.
Almost hit him. 2-2. Zunino is at first. The Gators, who were 5th this year in college baseball with 69 home runs, they have 2 here. This place is going to hold a lot of long fly balls. Strike 3 called inside corner, and Price gets out of the jam. Had some run on it and came back in the zone, and Price does what he has always done: shut down a rally.
19 saves, looking for the 20th one, which would lead the nation and would give them the crown. 3 outs to go.
Welcome back as the South Carolina fans booting up a storm. They lead 4-2 as we go to the bottom of the 8th, and they will be trying to add to that lead after the Gators got one back in the top of the inning. Back-to-back titles. It's only happened once since 96-97. That was Oregon State 4 years ago. They had back-to-back titles in 06 and 07. South Carolina trying to add its name to that list would be the 6th time it's ever happened in the history of the College World Series. Tyler Thompson, who's the pinch hitter, goes into left for Piggott defensively. Berry will lead it off, followed by Marzilli and Wingo. Catcher 0 for 2 with a sacrifice. Rodriguez starts him off with a called strike fastball. Ball. 4-2 South Carolina. Another tremendous performance by Roth. This ball served right back through the box for a base hit from Berry.
Well, we've talked so much about the South Carolina pitching, and that might bring him another national title. Robert Berry is the gentleman behind home plate, catching these guys, putting down the fingers. And a lot of pitchers call their own game. A lot of catchers called a game. A lot of people in college, the coaches called a game. But these two catchers here tonight, they have a lot of input on what fingers to put down, and they've done a great job.
Now Marzilli, the number 9 man in the order, a real good bunter. And he comes up in a situation lefty against lefty that he's going to try to move him over. Bunts the first pitch foul. Everybody in the South Carolina lineup has reached base tonight one way or another. They also have 9 hits for their 4 runs. And Chad Holbrook, the third base coach, wants to make sure Marzilli knows what's on right now.
Well, I think one of the things, you can't try and be perfect. Just bunt it. You know, at least get it back to the pitcher, but not real hard.
Toward third. Boy, did they have a shot at second base. And Dent just picked it up and threw to first, never even looked.
That's the responsibility. You have your catcher and your pitcher, and your catcher's going to let you know.
He predetermined going to first because there was a lot of people yelling 2-2-2.
Berry down at second on the sacrifice, and now Wingo against Rodriguez. And certainly mental errors are not tracked by stats, but that certainly had to be a mental error on the part of Dent at third.
Well, as fielders, you know, you've seen how South Carolina has won, you know, with throwing the ball away on bunts and putting pressure. And you just wanting to get that out and trust your pitching.
And this one goes to the backstop, and the runner will advance to third. And the normally reliable Rodriguez forces Zunino to try to short hop one way out of the zone. He couldn't do it. Sometimes the pitch is so bad the catcher cannot use the right technique and get his body out there to block it. He just kind of tried to stab at it and hope for the best.
Yeah, and that one took off on him. As soon as it hit the dirt, it bounced up.
Wingo. Wouldn't you know? Scott Wingo comes through for another big base hit. He has been huge since he got off the bus here in Omaha.
Infield way in. He just tries to put it in play, and he chops it off the front of the plate area. You see it almost hits the plate. That ground is firm by this point in the game. The water was put down a good 3 hours ago.
5-2 South Carolina. Wingo at first, still only one out. Jackie Bradley Jr. will come up. He has fanned 3 times tonight and walked. That one's foul.
Wingo was on the move on the last pitch, Mike. They are not going to sit back.
Add on if they can. Wingo with a good lead, doesn't go this time. Tap back to the mound. Rodriguez boots it. Still can get him at first and does. Out. And Wingo advances to second.
So you're now at that point in the game where you feel like you have to try and get every lead runner. As he was going to make an attempt right there to possibly go to second base, but he boots it around a little bit and still has the wherewithal to pick it up and get a nice pitch to the first baseman.
So 2 out with a runner at second base in the person of Scott Wingo for Christian Walker, who has a couple of base hits tonight. And they're going to walk him. No sense fooling around with the top hitter for the Gamecocks. He's only hitting .358 for the season. That's Brady Thomas, who will get a chance to hit with a couple of guys on the board. And you got to hand it to Walker. He's shown a lot of guts with that broken bone in his hand. He's been a gamer. The intentional pass will have 2 on with 2 out. Thomas also has a couple of base hits, but he is not the power threat that Walker is. Now Adam Matthews is going to come on for South Carolina. Waiting for the announcement, and they want to go with a right-hander against the lefty. And you see Kevin O'Sullivan waiting for the announcement so that he can go out and change pitchers and go with a right-hander. So Greg Larson will come on to pitch. And we'll check out his numbers when we come back. South Carolina trying to add to a 5-2 lead in the bottom of the 8th with 2 outs, and they will face a new pitcher as Greg Larson comes on to pitch against Adam Matthews, the pinch hitter. Has a 1-1 record this year and a 29th pick of the Angels in this year's draft.
You can see the big, tall 225-pounder. He tries to throw with a high three-quarter delivery and drive the ball down. Got a pretty decent breaking ball, but in this situation here, it'll come right after him.
Wingo and Walker are the base runners with a run already home. That makes it 5-2. And Florida just trying to get out of this so they can bat in the ninth and mount a comeback. Matthews, one official at bat out here. He is 0 for 1 in the College World Series. And now we've got a delay because there's another beach ball on the field. Two outs, bottom of the eighth. Larson trying to shut down this rally. Fastball for a called strike. That's too low, 1-1. You're looking ahead to the Florida in the ninth. It's the bottom third of their order scheduled to hit. Two balls and a strike to Adam Matthews. Three balls and a strike. SportsCenter follows our broadcast. We're in the bottom of the eighth. We invite you to stay tuned for that. It's 5-2. South Carolina, if they win tonight, they win the national championship. Back to back. Florida has to mount a rally in the ninth to force game 3 tomorrow night. Strike two. Matthews appeared to be taking all the way. Runners will be going 3-2 with 2 out. Matthews chops it to first. Taken by Ramjet, and the inning is over. But South Carolina adds a run. They leave 5-2. This is the order in the ninth for the Gators. That was the crowning moment a year ago for the Gamecocks of South Carolina. They won their first national championship in college baseball. 1 year later, Ray Tanner is trying to add a second. The Florida Gators in the ninth, the only thing standing in their way. Florida down by 3. Brian Johnson will lead it off against Matt Price. Johnson has walked, been hit by a pitch, and struck out. Price looking for his 20th save and his most important of the season. Missed with a fastball. Fastball, a lot of run on it. Hitting philosophy in this situation?
Well, you're going to have to take a strike. I mean, that's the first thing. You're going to have to make him throw strikes. If he wants to walk somebody, let him do it.
Johnson goes after an outside fastball popped into shallow center field. And after a delayed start, Jackie Bradley Jr. got there. That ball hung up a long time.
You know, Mike, if Florida loses it, they're going to look back and say, you know what? Our offense didn't come through. 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position. And our defense didn't come through 2 unearned runs. And even last night, 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position. And an unearned run last night, the winning run. And they've left 17 guys on base in these 2 games. They just haven't been themselves, but you're going to have to tip your cap to the guys they're playing because they're doing the job.
This is Jeff Moyer, the pinch hitter, the left-hander for Vikash Ramjet. 5'11", 185 pounds, a junior. A .250 hitter on the season. He's only had 60 at-bats, a couple of home runs. And he's trying to get something started here.
Takes a fastball for a called strike.
Dent scheduled to hit next. We don't expect to see him.
Moyer tried to check his swing and did not. Boy, he's upset. He thought he was able to stop the head of the bat. I think he's right.
The big hole now, 0-2. They are getting ready to celebrate in the South Carolina dugout. Gators trying to delay it as long as possible. Maybe even change that thought. That's outside. 2-2.
Well, it's hard when you're sitting in the dugout and you know you're up by 3 and everything. I mean, this is a long tournament. You're almost here 2 weeks. The emotions. I mean, it's hard to stay focused and concentrate on making sure you get those outs.
Moyer down to first. 2 gone.
Got it out.
Christian Walker takes care of that one. Ben McMahon will be the pinch hitter in the last chance for the Florida Gators. Price on the verge of his 20th save. South Carolina on the verge of back-to-back championships. McMahon hit .241 this year. Just trying to keep the Gators alive. Price against Virginia was unbelievable. 95 pitches in 5 2/3 innings. Then he comes back and pitches an inning 2 days later for a save. Now this ball is into left center field. Jackie Bradley makes the catch. South Carolina has done it. Back-to-back national titles. Off to Ray Tanner and his kids. They have rewritten the record books here at the College World Series. Nobody had ever won 16 games in a row in the NCAA tournament. Nobody had ever won 11 in a row at the College World Series, but that's what they accomplished tonight. And you can see the pain on the Gators' faces as they were swept
2 games to none in the finals. Kyle Peterson with the winning coach, Ray Tanner. Kyle?
Ray Tanner, back-to-back national championships. He won the last one at Rosenblatt. Now you won the first one here at TD Ameritrade. You juggled lineups the entire season, battled injuries. What was the key to this team winning this thing?
Well, it was the makeup of this team. These guys believe they can win. They play hard every day. We know that we don't have awesome talent, but we show up and play, and some good things have happened for us. Just can't put into words how much these guys mean to me and how hard they work.
How about what you got out of Christian Walker? When he breaks his hamate bone on Friday, that's usually an 8-week deal. He doesn't miss an at-bat. What does him in this lineup mean to you guys emotionally?
Well, it meant so much for us tonight. Yesterday I didn't think he was going to be able to get in there. Somehow he found a way. Our doctors and trainers did a tremendous job. And, it inspires the whole team when you got a guy with a broken hand refuses to come out of the lineup. So he did a tremendous job for us.
Last year was Jackie Bradley Jr. and Michael Roth that kind of burst onto the scene here in Omaha. This year was Scott Wingo, who did absolutely everything for you. What made him so good here?
Well, he got better. He got better as he got older in his career, and he loved the stage here last year, and he was a better hitter. He plays with a lot of energy, and he excites his team. He was outstanding.
Ray, congratulations.
Thank you very much, Kyle.
Let's go over to Jen Brown.
Thanks, Kyle. I'm here with Michael Roth. Michael, you leave the game with a 1.17 ERA, the second highest in College World Series history. What did it feel like to get that standing ovation as you walked off the field tonight?
It was awesome. My career kind of jump started here last year, so it's an amazing feeling.
Back-to-back national champions. It's a huge feat for this team. How were you guys able to do it?
Battled. That's the only word that can describe it. We're a bunch of average Joes, and we just come out here and we love each other and love the game.
Tell me about the word battle, because we've heard it over and over and over with this team. What does the word battle mean to you?
A little bit of everything. We're not the most talented team. We don't have the best player position for a position, but we go out here and we stick together as a team. And we've met some people that have battled, like Charlie here, our bat boy. He battled. And Baylor Teal last year just showed us how to battle, and I guess that's where we get that from.
All right, well, another player who battled for you guys today, Christian Walker, playing through the injury. He's now with Kyle Peterson.
All right, Jen, thanks. Christian, we just talked to Ray Tanner. You don't miss an at-bat after breaking a hamate bone. How do you do that, fighting the pain that you did?
This is the last thing on my mind. You play with a group of guys like this. They push you every day. Honestly, I don't think they expected me to sit out. They pushed me into doing this, and I can't say enough about these guys.
It seemed like it was somebody different every day for you guys, whether it was Roth or Wingo or it was you or whoever else it might be. What made this team so special?
Just the fact that we could stay loose in situations like this, and these guys have an unbelievable amount of love for each other, and it doesn't get any better than this.
Michael Roth is one of those guys that when he's out there, it just seems like you guys play differently. He comes back today, goes 7 2/3 on 3 days rest. What did it mean to have him out there in this game?
Mike's got the biggest heart I've ever seen on the field. He's one of those guys you just want out there, even if he's not 100%. And he put us on his back today.
You got 2 years at South Carolina, 2 national championships. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Let's go back up top to Mike Patrick.
Kyle, thanks very much. Now we take a look at the Capital One Tournament Most Outstanding Player, and it is Scott Wingo, who's in the right place at the right time the entire College World Series. Here's Jen with Scott.
Thanks, Mike. Scott, I'm not sure if you know this, but you have been named the tournament's Most Outstanding Player. How does that feel?
I don't know if anybody could took this award. I'll take it, but I'll tell you what, every one of these players deserves it. But that's awesome. We did a great job, and we played the best we played all year.
Now, you came through over and over for this team in the College World Series. What made you so effective here?
Well, I really just try to focus and bear down. And like I always say, we battled. But this is awesome. Go back to back. That's just incredible.
Talk to me a little bit about what this means for the program.
Well, we sure have done something special here, and I know they're going to keep on getting better. So, man, it's bittersweet, but it's awesome to go out on top.
All right, going out on top, definitely well-deserved, getting the Most Outstanding Award there. We're going to head back up to Mike. Great job today.
Thank you.
Well, Michael Roth said, we're not the most talented team. They'll do until somebody else comes along. This is a really good group of baseball players, and they deserve this. They earned it.
Yeah, and, you know, we got to take our hats off to Florida and Kevin O'Sullivan.
Absolutely.
That team has done an outstanding job this year. They went 0-2 in a barbecue last year. This year, they get to the finals. Maybe someday they'll make that step and bring a national championship to the Florida Gators someday.
Carolina, a deserving national champion 2 years in a row.
Yeah, and they're very opportunistic. I mean, we've talked about all the teams that have left runners in scoring position, left men on base. They've kept them from scoring. I mean, it's really right. All these teams, it's this pitching staff for South Carolina that's done it. And you just have to tip your hat to them.
2 balls, no strikes to Merrifield.